A very good evening and a warm welcome to all the viewers and all the participants, attendees who are live with us on Zoom as well as on ECA Facebook page. We will be sharing the video on APER Facebook page as well. Welcome to the episode 15 of ECA APER Talks. A shortlisted few of our corporate members and very dedicated members that we have with us today as a list of speakers. It's my honor to welcome all of them. We have Dr. Uma Bhalerao with us. We have Ms. Pritika Venkatakrishnan, Mr. Abbas Gabajiwala, Mr. Rajiv Sharma, Mr. Josefa Aziz, and Ms. Deepika Goyal. So it's a full panel. It's like a rocking panel today. We have a lot of good speakers from varied sectors in education. It's an honor to have all of you here. Mr. Rajiv Sharma. Can I have Rajiv? Okay. So I'll put Rajiv on spotlight. And Mr. Rajiv Sharma is the president and co-founder for Fifth Dimension Technologies. The topic that Mr. Rajiv is going to speak on is on web and app-based software solution for education sector. Friends, let me tell you, Rajiv is also in a place right now where he has taken a special permission to come on video. He is in a army cantonment zone where he is not allowed to have video on or talk, but with special request to the officers at his end, Rajiv has taken this permission, and I'm so honored to have Rajiv with us. Rajiv, we are looking forward to listening to you. So over to you.
Thank you so much, everyone. And as my previous speaker already covered almost all the things which I actually thought in my mind that I'm going to speak, but now it's already hijacked, so I need to speak something, add on to it. Now I heard carefully, okay, about one thing, what we are missing on is a very basic point. Is it the first and last crisis we are facing? It's not. All right, so we need to be prepared not only for today but for tomorrow also. Now that is where this fifth dimension technologies come in the picture. Let me just introduce you a bit. Fifth dimension technologies is a bunch of you can say sparking mind people who think out of the box and create something out of nothing. And then so what we do is, okay, we we take a school, we understand the all processes what they are following. Now every school has a different approach. They have different process in their own school. So we get into it, we simplify everything, and we put everything on web-based or app-based. In fact, even the curriculum also is digitized as per their syllabus. So that's what actually basically what we do. Okay, now looking at the market right now, we are facing this COVID situation. As my previous speaker already pointed out that, okay, there are so many underprivileged people. There are people who cannot, do not have the access to the urban society what these kids can get, like they have these solutions, the bandwidth and everything. Now we need to think beyond it. Okay, now so this is where actually my company is coming in, and we are designing solution for those remote areas also, wherein we can actually host it, and on the demand base we can supply them, but everything has to be online because we know that, okay, this thing is gonna go far. People are still scared. We do understand about the parents who are really scared to send their kids to school, and we all know about it. So now the time has come to really think of a disaster recovery kind of mindset, and in that a kind of virtual school, it needs to be established. Now a kid, like my previous speaker, again I'm pointing out to her again and again, okay, but these kids are missing their school. Now we need to really consider, okay, now we cannot send them to school right away. It's going to take time. Even after vaccines, okay, it's going to be some repeat course, and when the world is clearly out of the COVID, we might be facing another virus in coming years. So that's not a good situation. Now we need to look at from starting from going from the home to when the kid reach school, what all they face, what all they do. So why don't we create everything virtual? We can have everything virtual experience also for the kid. And we totally understand, okay, that parents hesitate in giving a smartphone or the iPads to the kids. But yeah, I mean, the time has come when the change of mindset is required now, because the kind of situation the whole world is facing. The mindset is, in fact, when I was interacting with a lot of schools in rural areas also, they were totally against it initially, but now when they are facing the kids are no more even contactable, they don't even know where they are, what they are doing. They need to reach out to them to keep the education on, keep that information flow from the teacher side, from the school side, to the parents, to the kids. They need to be engaged in this whole process. So we have designed the solutions which are like app based, and they are the you can browse it on the web. I can just give you a few examples, like a kid go to the library, okay, they see a lot of books, and as per the interest they issue they go to the librarian and ask them to please issue this book at my name. So why can't we have all this process online? They see everything, just like a library on the screen, and they select the book, and then they write a request, can I have this book for these many days? Now this is a digital version, okay, I mean 100 students can have at one time, that's not a thing, but it's just to give an experience, just to keep the records with the school. And how much, in fact, we can also capture how much time a kid is really spending on reading every page, every book. Okay, based on that, you can have some multiple choice questions, answers, to really know the interest of the kid, okay, which side you want to go. So all those analytics come behind that. And apart from all that, now teachers want to extend classrooms in their homes, the kids home. So we have developed a platform wherein teachers can go live. Okay, they can teach students, and based on that, they can give homeworks. Those all homeworks are really stored on the cloud, wherein even the video what she's actually she is taking, like the online classes, those videos get recorded and they are stored on the cloud. And anybody, like like just we spoke, okay, there are underprivileged kids also. You have electricity problem, you have bandwidth problems. Now what about them? So they can actually go after the class is over, or during that, okay, if they are feeling any problem in viewing that, they can actually download it later on. They can view the whole content and done. And after that, based on the classroom, every teacher gives the homeworks. Now to manage the homework, it's like a teacher need to actually give the homework on that cloud space again. Kids would, as per their class and roll numbers, or whatever way they want to divide, okay, for the class, for the team works or the homeworks, we divide accordingly in the back end of our software. And people can go and view the things, view the homework. Based on that, they can give their rework. So homework is need to be submitted, right? It's just not that, okay, teacher is writing and the homework is done. Student has to work on it and submit it back to the teacher. That process is included. Now teacher is looking at the homework and giving the assessments, okay, or she need to correct it again and ask the student again, okay, do it again. So all the processes we have understood in the school thoroughly, okay, and we have incorporated all the solutions uh, in our web version or the app version. And they are like we are also coming with the platform, in fact, but right now we are doing for the schools, particularly, like, okay, suppose there is a DPS school, I'm just taking an example. So we understand their process, we digitize their curriculum, we would create their online libraries, their homeworks, and everything reside on their server, or they can have the cloud. So the product belong to them. So that's how the whole scenario works in these COVID times. Now this is also preparing the schools for the future contingency. Suppose tomorrow again things stuck, okay, now again everything would be scrambled, and we are just running here and there, okay, what to do next? Now here is some solution which is already there. Your all the process of the school is already duplicated online, virtually, using softwares. So this is what we have created for the schools, and this is gonna coming on the platforms also, so that every school can go on. And by the way, okay, we are going to we are actually being approached by a lot of rural areas also, some government affiliated schools. We are talking to the governments, okay, how we can reach out to these people, these kids who are really underprivileged. So in fact, government is also helping us by showing that, yeah, the fiber optic is, they are lying to the all the remote places, along with the railway stations, railway tracks, and also all those things we are considering, and trying to reach out to the remotest part of India, so that education could be reached to all the kids who are underprivileged, or doesn't matter where they are. They just need to be connected on this, and we are trying to reach to the last mile also. Now, what I see, okay, the future. Now, this could be my last point here. Okay, the future is definitely, having artificial intelligence along with the whole process. Now, because everything is gonna online, teachers cannot really, look at every kid's performance, because interacting face to face is different, but interacting online is very, very different. Yeah, you don't get to see the reactions, or how well a kid is really absorbing everything. So we have designed a whole solution accordingly, and wherein the feedbacks or the interest of the kid is reflected in, at the real time, whenever they're going through the exams, or they're going through any kind of material which teacher has posted. So all those things would be backed up by artificial intelligence, which actually calculate and inform the management and teachers that these kind of these kind of subjects we are suggesting you to further teach this kid. Either this kid is like very low in GK or social science or whatever. So these softwares pinpoint everything, and at the real time, the management also get the holistic view of even the teachers, okay, how they are performing, what kind of rating the teacher is having, and how many kids are really falling below the line, and what kind of emphasis every management or the teacher would have to really give on the students. So those all kind of analytical reports also come. So this is what actually we are doing, and this is what I would tell every school to look at these solutions, because this is inevitable. Okay, this is you cannot escape this. COVID is definitely not the last, and not the first one. It's going to go. And as per WHO last report, I think for many years we're going to have this turbulence from COVID itself. So yeah, I think I'm done with my topic. Thank you so much, everyone, for hearing me so patiently. I hope this would help you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. It was pleasure listening to you. And friends, let me tell you, Fifth Dimension Technologies have become the ECA corporate members recently. Thanks to Miss Priya Niyogi as well, a part of Fifth Dimension Technologies. And so I had to mention her name. Without her, we have not been in touch. And, she's been very kind enough. She's doing a lot of projects with ECA. And thanks to Mr. Rajiv for this association with us. And we are very honored to have you. And thank you so much for all the trouble that you had to take today to come on the show. But it's really a pleasure to listen to you, sir.
Thank you so much. And yes, I even forgot to mention Priya's name. Thank you so much for reminding me.
Thank you. Of course, we wouldn't have missed out on her name. Don't worry at
Thank
all.
you.
Moving